Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us. My name is Mahima Lal, and I'm the part of the engagement marketing team at Hero Wire. And I'm your host for the day. I will start this webinar by telling you a little about the Hero Wire. So, Hero Wire is a virtual education company which is the part of the Hero Group. Hero Wire is basically on a mission in order to reimagine the way we learn, but also build a better and a brighter future. So we are here to equip you with the right knowledge, right skill set, and the expertise that you need in order to find success. So today we are presenting a webinar on the topic which is why go hyper. Okay. In order to present this webinar with us, we have Nir. Okay. Nir has a BSc in degree in computer science from Richmond University. He has an experience of 30 plus years in the gaming industry. In addition, Nir was also the head of the Israeli Game Industry Association for 10 years. Currently, Nir is heading the Crazylabs, the hyper casual accelerator at Crazylabs. Welcome, Nir. So with Nir, we also have Ajay Kumar Srinivasan, game designing expert and faculty in gaming at Hero Wire. Ajay has a BSc in gaming and animation with 11 plus years of experience. He is a 2D and 3D designer with a commercial and artistic success record. His specializations include AR and VR. Ajay will be sharing with us more about the game developing and how you can upskill into the same. Moving forward, everyone, I will be running a quick poll, which you all will be seeing on your screens, where you need to provide us with the basic details about yourself. Also, if anybody have any questions regarding anything during the webinar, you feel free to put down your questions in the Q&A section and not in the chat box, because in the chat box, it might get skipped. So do make sure you're putting down your questions related to the webinar into the Q&A section. So without any further ado, I will be giving this over to Nir. Please go on. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Nir. As you already heard, I'm a veteran in the gaming industry. Did various positions along the years. But in the last few years, I'm focused on the hyper-casual industry, or the hyper-casual business model. It's a business model for gaming, for games, that mostly rely on ads in order to make revenue. Mobile games, ads. And I will explain how it works. I will explain a little bit about Crazylabs also. And there will be a lot of time also for question if you want later, or if you want to ask during the talk, I will try to answer, or I will answer in the end. So let's start. So why now is the right time to go hyper? I'm doing this talk for maybe more than 2 years, and it's still relevant. So it's still the right time to go hyper. $5 million. I will let you remember this number. I will go back to it later on the talk. So as I said, I'm Nir Miretsky. I'm heading the Crazylabs. I'm also a senior lecturer at HNCAR, which is a design college, one of the first to teach game design in Israel. I was the chairman of GAMIS, the Israeli Gaming Association. And I'm always looking for new studios to work with us, with Crazylabs, on a promising new hyper-casual games. So this is Crazylabs in general. A few examples, you can see iconic games or iconic icons with hundreds of millions of downloads. You can see here that most of the games, or most of the hits that we made, passed the 100 million download mark. Some of them are almost 200 million. During the 10 years that the companies exist, we have more than 5 billion downloads total, maybe even now 550. We have around 200 million daily users, monthly users, sorry, on our games. And we are working with more than 500 developers worldwide as a publisher, publishing their games. Just like a general screen to give you the feeling of what is hyper casual, or what is the look and feel of hyper casual. Because hyper casual, as I will explain in a second, it's not exactly a genre. It's a business model. You can find simulation games like do-it-yourself phone case, when you simulate a phone case manufacturer, or a do-it-yourself phone case. You can see games with fish, games with sausages escaping knives, puzzle games, ASMR games, just giving you some kind of comfort and happy feeling, not exactly with a goal. And many others subgenres. You can find shooters, you can find football games, almost everything. So what is hyper casual? How can I define hyper casual if it could be almost any game? So first, all the hyper casual games are simple, short, and satisfying. I will go deeper inside those ideas, but in general, if it's a complicated game, if it's have a big story and many characters, usually it will not be hyper casual. It must have mass appeal, and by mass appeal, I'm talking about something that will touch a lot of people. A lot of people are millions or even tens of millions of people. So just for an example, a car game is something that touch a lot of people. A car game about Formula One have less people that want to play it. Although it's also a car, but it's a specific car, and it's narrowing the amount of people that want to play the game. So if we want to go to a mass appeal, we will try to go for the car, or for something that will be wide enough for a mass appeal. All of them have one finger mechanic. I will try to show you. I hope you can see my phone. Yes? No? Okay. Let's try. So usually we play with only one finger. Maybe I will cancel the background. Just for a second. Okay. So if I want to use my phone to play on my phone, I can use only one finger. It will always be also portrait mode, not landscape, portrait. We're bringing fun to non-gamers. Although many of the hyper-casual players are also gamers, most of them are not gamers. And later on, I will explain the system. You will understand that we are trying to engage non-gamers, people that usually don't play games or don't play hardcore games or mid-core games, but just playing from time to time when something is appealing to them. The games should be also highly replayable. That means that when I finish a game, I can start over and still enjoy it. It's not something like a game that have, well, there are some narrative-based games on hyper-casual, but let's say I will put it aside. Usually, you don't want to hear the story again. If you are playing again the same story, you want to take a different direction to be engaged better. The game should be also easy to monetize. And as I said before, hyper-casual games are being monetized, or I say it in different words, how you make money with hyper-casual games, you put ads inside. So when I say easy to monetize, I mean that there are places in the game that allow you to put ads that will not ruin the game experience. For example, in the end of each level, or each time I die in the game, I see an ad, but it's not just popping up in the middle of the game. And one of the most important parts, speedy in production. That means that the studio, usually 2, 3, 4 people, should know how to take an idea. And from the moment that we know that idea is good and promising, they need to run fast and produce the game. If time passes, there will be clones, maybe the trend will go lower. So speed is a very important part of hyper casual. Just a few numbers from the business side. We have the latest number of 2021. 2022 is still didn't finish yet. So we can see that during 2019, 2020, while the COVID was still very strong spread, we had a huge jump of 11.9 billion downloads in hyper-casual. After the COVID, the disease weakened a little, didn't finish, but weakened, we can still see a growth. All of this 11.9 billion downloads stayed also on 2020 and 2021, but another 3 billion added to it, just to give you the feeling that it's not something that was related only to the quarantine time, but also brought a lot of new people into this hobby, and you can see it's still growing. This is the same idea, the same graph, but from different perspective. We are talking about subgenres, the casual lifestyle, casual simulation, casual racing, but hyper casual had the biggest growth the last year, more than 15% more downloads if you compare it to last year. So where to start? Well, let's say you heard my talk, you maybe even enjoyed it or get some interest information, and now you want to start make hyper casual games. So how do we start? So first we have a recipe. The recipe says take 3, let's call it roles: a game designer, a developer, and an artist, and put them together to make a game. Now this is a little misleading because we can also see teams of 2 people or even 1 guy or girl that know how to do all those 3 roles. So some of the top charts hits even today are being made by one guy or girl, one man show that knows how to game design, how to develop, and how to make art. And now can you hear me? No. And still make a game by his own, but the classic way of working will be one game designer, one developer, and one artist. So this slide is a little bit long or complicated. It's not, when you understand it in the end, it's easy, but it's hard to explain. So I will try to go step by step. This is the magic behind hyper casual, and the magic is how to know that the game is going to be a hit in order to develop it. The idea is that we don't want to develop 1,000 or 1,000 of 10 or 1,000 games in order to find one game which is good, which is going to be a hit. We want to do a series of tests that will help us estimate if a game could be successful, could be a big hit, before we put money, effort, and time in. So how we do it? First, we want to know if we will make this game. Let's say I'm making a game about how to make your own tie-dye shirts. Okay, you know tie-dye, it's like the psychedelic colors shirt that you put inside a bucket with some ink, and it comes out a random shirt, random pattern. So let's say I want to make a game about that, and I want to know if this idea is a good idea. So the first thing I do, if I am a studio, I'm sending to my publishing manager. I will send him a pitch, a very basic pitch. It's a PDF or a Word file with 2 pages, 1 page even, very basic. I want to make a game about how to tie-dye shirt or something. This will be the levels that I want to make. This will be the wow moment of the game. And this is how I want to make the video ad for the game. And I am, as a publishing manager, I will check the pitch and I will say to him, oh, it's a great idea, let's do it. Or I can say, oh, we already tried it many times, it's not good, let's go and try a different idea. But let's say I told him it's a good idea. So the first thing you need to do is to make a 30-second video of the game. Now the game is not exist yet. So we need to use the minimum amount of Unity skills to use art and to fake a 30-second gameplay for the game that we can make into a video ad and check how many people want to click this video ad. So we are asking the studio, please make a 30-second video ad. They are making it, and we are going to do the first test, the one that we call CPI test. CPI stands for cost per install. And the idea is that I want to know how much it will cost me to pay for ads in order to make people install my game. So it's very easy. We take, for example, $100, and this is not an imaginary amount, something like this. We take the 30-second video ad and we put it on Facebook and on TikTok, and we are counting the clicks, how many people clicked the video ad. If, let's say, we paid $100 and 100 people install the game, click the ad and try to install the game that does not exist. It's very easy, 100 divided by 100. The result is $1 per install. The CPI is $1. But if 1,000 people will install it with the same budget, then we will know that the CPI is 10 cents, which is quite a good CPI. And we are looking for less than 30 cents this way. So we take the video, we put it out there, we count the clicks, and if we find a video that the cost per install is less than 30 cents, we'll tell the studio, look promising, let's move on. And now it's the first time that they actually develop the game. And they don't need to develop all the game. Again, we have another test to check, to estimate the success of the game. The second test called day one usage test. Day zero is the day that we install the game. If I am a player, I saw an ad, I clicked it, I installed the game. Today is day zero. Tomorrow will be day one, the first day after I install the game. And I want to know how many people that installed the game yesterday on day zero still playing it on day one. So I need to put a few levels in the game and put it on the store, put another $100, the publisher will put another $100, will bring people to play the game, and we will count how many people are coming again to play the next day. I will make the story a little shorter, but if more than 30%, like 1 out of 3 people, are coming back to play the game the day after, and we know from the last test that the CPI is less than 30 cents, we know that we have something promising in our hands. We have a game that brings a lot of people just by the video ad, but people stay and play it because we checked the day one retention. Then we need to do another test. We want to know how much money the game can make, because until now, we just know that it's not expensive to make ads for the game, and we know that people like it. But now we want to know, can we make money out of it? And it's the next step is kind of easy. We take the same game with the same levels, and we put ads between the levels, after I die, on special places when you can maybe get something if you watch an ad. Maybe you can get superpowers or get more money in the game if you watch an ad. We put all of it and make another test. We can call it ROI test, return of investment, or other names, ARPU also, average revenue per user, same. And we want to know how much money the game can make. And of course, we want the ROI test, the money that the game makes, to be higher, than the cost it cost us to publish the game. If I'm putting $100 and get 1,000 users, I want the 1,000 users to bring me back more than $100. So we had the game, we had a good pitch, we had a good CPI test. We know it's not expensive to market our game. We know people like the game because they are coming back to play the game. We know that the game makes enough money to cover the costs of the advertising that we needed to bring the players in the first place. And now we just need another test. The last test is checking exactly the same thing. We only have one test to go, the scale test. And the idea is very simple. As you know, when I'm advertising in Facebook, for example, or in TikTok, Facebook tries to optimize the advertisement. For example, let's say I have a game about Harley Davidson motorcycles. So the first thing that they will do, they will try to aim the video ads to some groups of Harley Davidson. You know, Facebook have groups and they have Harley Davidson groups. So we'll try to aim there. And then people that will look on my game and they are already like Harley Davidson motorcycles, so they have more chances to click the ad. But when instead of putting $100 a day for ads, I will put 1,000 or 10,000 or even $1 million a day just for ads, Facebook cannot no longer target a specific crowd that will may like my game. They need to just put the ad everywhere on all the crowds. And this is what we call scaling. We moved from the test phase to the worldwide phase to try to reach everyone. And we want to know if our game is still interesting, not only for a small group that Facebook help us to achieve, to find, but also for the general crowd, for the mass appeal. And this is the last test. And if this test is successful, and we know that a lot of people like the game, they still click it in a low price and still giving us back money by watching ads, that it's better than the money that the CPI costs, the arbitrage is still positive, then we know that we have a promising game. Then we will ask the team to finish the game, to add a lot of levels, to add a lot of elements to the game, and we will publish it worldwide. Maybe someone have questions on this part, the business model. I can also say that, of course, the studio have an agreement with the publisher, which is in this case it's Crazylabs. We're giving them some kind of monthly payments because they are working on the game after we know it's promising, and of course they get a big chunk of the revenue share. They are making the game, we are paying for the video ads, sometimes millions of dollars, but we still share a nice chunk of the revenue share. Okay, someone asked me to repeat the question, the answer that asked before about are we doing it only for mobile games? Yes, only for mobile games. It's the only platform that can help us reach hundreds of millions of users in a relatively cheap way. Okay, we can, if you want later, you can ask questions also later. So I'm moving on. Some more examples of how to compare hyper casual and casual games for mobile. You can see that to produce most of the game, we can call it, or to produce enough of the game to know if it's promisable. In hyper casual, it could take around 8 weeks, while in casual games, let's say Candy Crush or one of those, Revolver.io, it could take up to 1.5 years just to know if the game is promising enough. When looking on manpower, we need 3 people in hyper casual, while in average, while in casual we need 15 people. And on downloads, we can get almost 3 times the downloads for the same advertising campaign, 60 million versus 20 million. Of course, casual games make more money on the long term, and they make money also for in-game purchases and from other stuff. But the amount of games that are being worked on for 1.5 years and then just quit and throw it away because it's not good enough, make people understand that hyper-casual could be a better business model. You will make less money, but in a shortened time, and you have more chances of succeeding. A great example, I also mentioned it before, tie-dye game. Tie-dye is a very famous game that came from Crazylabs, one of the studios that we work with. We gave them the idea. We found out that it's very trendy on TikTok, on YouTube, Facebook, etc. And we told them, let's try to make a game about tie-dye. They made a video ad and a few levels, and we uploaded it to the store and measured the results. The first time we put this game out, 48% of the people that played the game came back tomorrow to play it. Half of the people. It's amazing because we only had one level. But since it's a creative level where you can make your own shirt, and each time your effort will bring you a different design, a different shirt, people just play it again and again and again. And we had amazing retention of 48%. After we add content and make the game even better, we reached 68%, which is almost 2/3, a little bit more than 2/3 of the people coming back the next day to play the game. It was amazing success. Most of the games don't do it so fast, and it's still a huge hit till today. Remember when I told you about the $5 million on the second slide? Now I will explain. So we wanted to know how long it takes to make $5 million revenue from a hyper-casual game. And we took 4 examples. The first one is soap cutting. One of the first ASMR games came out almost 3 years ago, before Christmas. 3 people worked on that game. They made $5 million revenue in 12 weeks. ASMR slicing, also 3 people. It took only 7 weeks. By the way, it's the same people that make both those games. An Indian company called Firescore, which was later acquired by Crazylabs, and today Crazylabs India, based on this company, a very talented studio. Tie-dye, 5 people made $5 million in 7.5 weeks, and the maze, only 2 people make $5 million revenue in 8.5 weeks. I'm talking about revenue, not about profit, just income, just money that we got from people watching ads playing those games. And if you listen to me earlier, if a CPI for a game is 30 cents and we need, let's say, 40 cents, 50 cents revenue in order to make profit, think about how many people need to play, how many levels in order to see so many ads to make $5 million in 8 weeks. It's hundreds of thousands or even millions of video ads that was shown. I want to give you another example, sorry. Another example called from a game. From a game called I Can Paint. Just from looking on the icon, I think you can understand what is this game about. Also a simulation game where you take a bucket of paint, make a hole in the bottom, tie the bucket to the ceiling. Maybe you should first tie it and then make the hole, and give it a push. And from that push, the paint is painting some symmetrical shapes, spiral shapes, and interesting patterns. And this video of I think the next slide, we can see this is an original video. You can see that this is how you do it in a studio, in a real life studio. And this is many videos that were popular on Facebook, TikTok, and other YouTube and other social networks of people that are doing painting with buckets. What happened? Yes. So this example is talking about this game. We're talking about 12 people working on the studio, but only 3 worked on this game. Until that game, they were only making casual games, not hyper casual games. So it's the first time they tried. It's of course a lot of luck, but this is the first time. And what they did, they found a viral trend similar to tie-dye, something that people are watching a lot on social networks, and try to gamify it into a game. As I said before, you can see many kinds of videos of this on all the social networks. And the challenge was to detect what makes the spiral paint so viral, why people like to watch it, to explore how to convert viewers to players. How can I take, let's say, my mother that want to watch those videos and looking for those videos all the time, how can I convince her to play the game, not only watch the video? This is what we call converting viewers to players. And to do it, the goal was to create experience that the fans of the video will enjoy when playing the game. And of course, one of the things that make it interesting is that when you paint at home, everything is messy and color, and you need to wash it later, and you need to clean it and to arrange everything, and clean the colors. But when you do it on your phone, no mess. So how can we leave the fun in but keep the mess out? I think this is one of the magic recipes for those kinds of games. So what was the story of this game? If I look on the I want to compare this funnel and to tell what happened to this game. So we started by proving a video. We made something that we called CTR test. I will not explain, but it's very similar. It was successful. And then we went to the CPI test. And the CPI test, if you remember, I told you that we are looking for less than 30 cents CPI. In this case, we made 15 cents. And the retention, people came back to play. 37% of the people came back to play with only one level, which was kind of crazy. After working on the game, when we finally launched it, we had more than 60% of the people coming back to play it. So it took them only 6 weeks from sending us a video of the idea of a game that was based on this paint game to the moment that they got the game launched. Later on, we had a lot of content. We had the option to choose how many holes you want in the bucket. And if you watch a video ad, you can also choose as any number you want. We gave them the option to choose different color palettes inside the buckets. And again, if you want this color palette, you can watch a video and open it. So we are convincing them to watch more ads. We use the shiny or glowing colors. We use we put 2 different colors, one on top of the other, not near the other. And we did a lot of small add-ons that will make people want to play more or to watch ads while playing the game. And kind of the slogan is that every game can become a game changer. So to summarize, it was one idea. It took 2 weeks to fail. If they made a video, we checked it, we got a very high CPI. Let's say it cost $1 to to get one install, then we will throw it away and get a different idea. But if it's okay, in 4 weeks, we know it's a good game. 3 people, a game designer, a developer, and an artist. And they took a simple idea and make it in a very successful hyper-casual game. That's it. Maybe you have questions. I want to also add about the Crazylabs and other things, but so near post your presentation, you can take the questions that are in the question and answer box. I don't understand. So first question was, what makes game hyper casual? I said it before. To doom. It should be all of those things in order to become what we call hyper casual. But in general, it should generate more revenue from the ads we put in the game that cost us to advertise the game. Okay, let's say it's a Coca-Cola bottle. I want to make more money from selling Pepsi on the Coca-Cola cover than it cost me to advertise Coca-Cola. It's kind of a strange, it's like pulling yourself with your own hair, but it's working. If you know how to make it, it works. What is our target audience while making hyper casual games? So as I said before, we are looking for a mass appeal. That means that we want to make games that many people will want to play or find interesting as a video ad. Usually it's general ideas, it's cars, it's someone running, it's not a specific thing usually. A lot of times it's specifically Crazylabs make a lot of simulation games. And our target audience will be the target audience of the specific idea. For example, tie-dye, people that like tie-dye. If you're making a racing game, it's not the same audience, but the important part is that there is enough audience to play this game. So we are making games with enough audience, not a specific audience. Sorry, Ajay, I will finish the question in a second. How to create the most impression game? Well, as I said, we don't know. We just test a lot of ideas until we find a good idea. If it's a good idea, we will develop the game. I will answer one more question and then we will hear Ajay, and in the end, I will go back to answer more questions. How to look for trends in hyper-casual gaming, any sources to look out for. So yes, I'm not looking exactly into trends in hyper-casual because then I will have a lot of contest with other companies. I want to be the first one that make a good game. So I do two things. First, I look for TikTok and YouTube, and I research for interesting ideas that are very popular on TikTok, for example, and could be gamified. And the second thing, I check a site called StoreGlide. It's a free site, storeglide.com, where there I can see all the games that are being uploaded to the game stores every day, to Google and iOS. And there I can see what kind of games people are making, but it doesn't give me a hunch which one is a good game, just to see all the new ones. And I will try to make a successful, interesting, one-of-a-kind game while checking the top charts, playing games, and watching social networks. Okay, so just a second before we move to Ajay, I want to tell you the last thing. After working for many years with studios, we found out that the best studios are the ones that we can say listen to us, get some mentorship from us, still have original ideas, still have very good spirit and know how to work fast, but with our guidance could make a hit. So we decided to make some kind of, you can call it an accelerator. And the accelerator takes studios and in 4 months make them into a professional studio. And we opened 6 of them around the world, in Mumbai, in Hyderabad, in Tel Aviv, Istanbul, Novi Sad in Serbia, and Cape Town in South Africa. And every, let's say, half a year, we have a 4 months a semester when we educate or mentor studios. And some of you, when you finish your school, can of course try to register, try to attend. We are not working with students that are currently studying because it's very demanding and we don't want to hurt your school. But after you finish your school or your courses, you can apply for the next cycle. The next cycle will be in January, but we will have around June another one. And I think that's it. I will go back to the questions later. I will give Ajay the pleasure of speaking now, and I will be back later.
Hi, Nir. Thank you so much for a wonderful session. It was really great. I mean, really, I think those who are attending the session will have a wonderful idea about the hyper casual market, how to approach them, and I think that's going to be a eye opener session for every one of them. I think so. It's really
Thank you.
great. That's really thank you so much for giving us a session. As you see that Nira is explaining us a lot of interesting aspects of hyper casual market. We have a very interesting program with us, which is on gaming, certification of gaming and esports, which is containing about, of course, the same stuff where we are talking about how to approach the hyper casual market, and we have, and as well as we have an esports management related course, which is rightly talking about the management stuff. So let us connect this hyper casual topic exactly to our gaming stream. Those who are interested in the gaming, we are starting this course towards that aspects of hyper casual to make them to achieve a very interesting concept at a at a simpler way. Starting with, we are talking them, understand, making them to understand with the guidance of Crazylabs and lot more industry people, and we are making every learners to make them to create a small concept, and after that they will make the Crazylab stream to evaluate that concept, followed by they will be designing and developing the concept, then they will be, you guys will be developing an MVP product, followed by, then it will be next you have to know what is the business aspect of it. So what we'll be doing it, we'll be guiding you how to prepare your business deck. This is called a pitch deck for your game, and you will be presenting that to the publishers as well as the Crazy Labs. So that if your concept is really like touchwood, it is a wonderful concept. Definitely, as Nir told, there is a lot of opportunity to have a revenue sharing and lot more interesting revenues happening on your game product. So, to tell you more interesting aspects, we are closely working with Crazy Labs. So, and our curriculums are towards the hyper casual targeted. So, you can get aligned to that, and each and everyone whoever going to choose the gaming as your stream, you will be having two people in your team, one designer, one developer. Of course, both of them will be going through all areas, but here a designer will be doing his support for the game development, and the game developer will be putting his game programming concepts and the mechanics and lot more interesting parts from his side, and together they will do a group project that will be the final output as an MVP stage with some good numbers of levels. With the guidance of, as I told you, Crazy Labs and the studio team like Gamion, Holy Cow Productions, we have Street Lamps, we have, and like that, lot of more interesting partners with us. We load in, and I can tell a lot of more, which is there in the our website. I hope while we are talking, I think our team would be sharing the details about our course in the chat. Please feel free to check out our links, and any doubts, any queries, feel free to ask us. Those who are asking, so what type of a tools we are using for them, I would like to take upon the Unity is our alliance partner for this course. So you will have a Unity certification, and followed by you will have a unit, then followed by Adobe tools like Photoshop, Illustrator, and for 3D we are using Maya, and we are using Blender, and for animations more we are doing Animate CC. We'll be teaching you that tools. So these are the tools covered widely around this course, and followed by every, and the next common question which I like, everyone are used to ask us is, so what about our internship? Followed by this course, there is a 5 months internship, which is a paid internship, which is absorbed by Nordwind, which is Nordwind is working with closely with Nakara. So you will be getting an option within them, and it is an offline internship, and you have to drop by to their location in Gurgaon to take this internship. Based on your process, based on your work level and your quality of work, you will be converted as a full-time option. Simultaneously, Nir and his team, which is like Crazylabs and team, also closely will be working with us and with your projects. And if your projects are wonderful, simultaneously you can work with Nir also, and you can complete your projects to the make it to the final level of the project. So these are the interesting key aspects. I would like to drop now few interesting which is not there with any other programs. Number one, we will be during this course, we will be giving you an opportunity to be a part of a lot of events happening around us, and we will be arranging a lot of technological meetups. Technology meetups is right now in many bigger games like AAA titles and lot more things. They'll be using motion capture and lot more things will be. So for those technology, how it is being utilized, where are the technologies, how to understand that, those process will be taken, planned one professional meetups in a certain areas, or sorry, certain states and cities, and that will be later on. It will be told to you, and there will be eye opener sessions for you guys from the experts, and you can see how the industry use the technology. So that is the first item which I would like to tell you as a program highlight. Second thing, you will have a direct access with the mentors and experts with through our teams. So that is the next key areas. And here you will be during this course, your Unity ID will be given a complete learning access apart from our content. And post this course also, you'll have an access for the immersive tech content, which is like, sir, you're teaching us today gaming. Tomorrow I want to extend my idea towards AR and VR. How about to learn that? Yes, if you want to learn by yourself, there is a Unity Learn content which you will be enabled by your user ID of the Unity, because we are a Unity Alliance partner for this issues. Followed by, we have the your course, those who are taking a gaming as their mainstream, that if you want to take it forward, like say you want to apply for a Unity certification, example Unity artist, or a asset artist, or a technical artist, or a Unity certified game developer. Example, there is a cost for the certification cost. Those who are in taking the gaming stream will be given a waiver for the first time. If you crack it, that's really wonderful. Because you can ask, I don't need to tell you guys, because 75 percentage of global market is acquired by Unity technology. So their certificates are highly valued. And followed by the last point, which I would like to put it up here, is our course is being as a powerful logos in our course, starting with Hero Group in its own certification, their own logos, followed by we have Nordwind Gaming logo and Unity logo, followed by Media Entertainment Skill Council, which is government logo, and NSDC, National Skill Development logo. So I think these are the interesting logos which will be there, which if you complete all the perfectly criteria, assignments and everything, you'll get the certificate. Add on to that was the thing which I told you everyone, that Unity certification, which is like you have to write an examination. There is a separate process for that. Right after your course, you can start doing that process. Of course, we'll be guiding you on that. So right now, I hope I gave you an idea about the course. Now I'll be jumping on to the questions right now, whichever we got. I think many of the questions I have taken by Nir, and I don't know from where should I take.
Ajay,
Mahima,
we
is
have
there
a
any?
yeah, Ajay, we have a question in the chat box as well, which says,
Oh,
what
okay, okay,
about
okay,
the
okay.
people who are coming from IT industry? Because an introductory session, I have been told by a person that you can skip internship and get more hike directly. This is by Kandar.
Kandar. And just like to put up, because we have already, the course is already open, and we have already a good numbers of registrations, and this is a common question which we got it from everyone, something not new. Example, whoever is from the IT industry, we are having two waiver forms. Those who don't want to go for an internship, they have to sign the waiver form. and we have a career service team, which they will be working with you guys and putting up a placement assistance for your career service. So there is no problem on that area, which you don't need to take up that internship. Tomorrow, if Nodwin is directly absorbing you for a full time also, we can check that option. We have to cross verify with the Nodwin, but definitely there is a career service team within the Herovire team. Definitely we can support you. I hope I have answered that question. Is there any other question? Or anyone want to repeat any areas which you guys are not clear or anything?
Ajay, you can refer to the Q&A box once. If you feel answering any of the questions, you can go on.
Oh, okay, cool. I think most of the questions are niche questions. I don't want to take it up. But I think what about the game engines on the mobile? Does it need large amount of money to make? I don't think so. We know nothing about, because you Unreal or Unity are giving the game engines for free. So I don't think, but definitely when we say mobile market, most of the mobile markets are tapped in by the Unity, because they are lightweighted. And if you're targeting a PC game, definitely we suggest to go ahead with the Unreal game engine. So I hope that question I can take it up, and that was the query. I think I take it up, and one more I can take it up. Explain about the I I leave this question to Nir, because it's about Nir's question. I think I leave it to Nir to take up. Anything relevant to the Herovire first, please drop the queries. I would be happy to take it up. Anything it is very general you want to take it up, I can really take it up.
So more question. If making hyper casual game is so easy and profitable, why don't big gaming companies make more hyper casual games? They can get better quality and more utility. It's an interesting question. First, it's not easy. We need to test a lot of ideas until we found a good idea. If a big company want to do it, they need to pay salary for, let's say, hundreds of developers. Instead, the model let us work with small studios that are working from home or from their own studio, getting some kind of budget for testing, and when they succeed, we have a revenue share. So it's very similar to big film studios that work with indie movie producers. They cannot make all the movies in the world, but they can take movies that they think are promising and publish them. What is the day one test usage? As I said before, day one is the first day after the day you install the game. For example, let's say you installed Candy Crush, then the next day you are checking how many people that installed Candy Crush yesterday are still playing Candy Crush. If it's, let's say, 40% of the people, then the day one retention is 40%. When a game is accepted for full release, how much time it is expected to complete the game? Does the developer have the liberty to choose the extend time, or does Crazylabs have any timeline to complete the game? Well, it's not so strict. First, when the game is being launched, is already making money. So the interest of the developer and for Crazylabs is to make it as good as possible to make more money, because now it's the hit. It's like on the charts, many people are playing it. If we will wait half a year, so we will have the same effort, but less people will play it. So it's not exactly a strict line, but all of us know that this is the time to hit the iron while it's hot. How much cut do you take from a game revenue? It depends on a lot of stuff, but it's between 50 to 75%. Depends. Depends on the team. But aren't these ads also a major reason for dropout uninstalls? How often the end user gets to see an ad? Yes. So someone asked, first, if the ads are not a problem, because people don't like ads, so they quit the game. So when we did the ROI test, after we know that people like to play the game, we put ads and we saw how many people stayed after the ads. The game should be so fun that the ads will not hurt the experience. And if enough people are staying, then we will make the game. But if not enough people are staying, we will try to fix it. But in the worst case, we will kill the game. And yes, we control how many ads the player can watch. For example, we can put a cooldown. If you watch the video ad, we can give you, let's say, 2 minutes that no new video ads will jump in the next 2 minutes, so you can feel free to play. After 2 minutes, in the first opportunity, we will put you another video ad, and then again, cool down for 2 minutes, for example. As a studio, what percentage do we consider while making or creating a new concept of the game? How much percentage do we keep the game in mind over getting onto a new game? Well, it depends on the test. We test the game. If it looks promising, we invest more time on it. Sometimes you can get extra budget from the publisher just to try again and again on the same idea. Sometimes we see the results are not promising. Let's kill the game and move on. I hope I answered the question. Can you tell about the pitch again? Pitch is a very basic way of telling the publisher your idea. You have an idea for making a mouse race game. So you make this PDF or Word, you write, the name of the game is Mouse Race. In the game, you will be a mouse trying to win a race. You can get power-ups, you can get obstacles. Each time you finish a race, you can upgrade your abilities, you can be faster, stronger, make more money out of the race, I don't know. And you explain this to me, how do you fail, how do you win, and how you want to make the video ad look like in the end. For example, in the video ad, we will see a rat running, jumping, and collecting gold, I don't know. And if we like it, we'll approve it. If we don't like it, we'll reject it. And in the middle, maybe we'll give you some guidance how to make it better. What about the game engines on mobile? Does that not need a large amount of money to make? No, we are using Unity. For some reason, only Unity is working with hyper-casual. Unreal is not working at all. There are some small other engines that work for some time. Now only Unity. Unity is free. It have a lot of business models, but pricing models. But in general, it could be free. And you can pay for it only when you know that the game is going to be profitable. So in the worst case, if you need to pay for it, you will do it after you already got some kind of advance payment. Explain more about the correlation between ads and the viewers. How important is for the success? Can different factors expect for ads affect the success? Well, if the game is interesting and the theme is interesting and the game is fun, we will try to put as many ads as possible without ruining the game. This is, I think, the formula. So yes, it's important. If we will put too much, people will quit. If we will not put enough, we will not make enough money. We need to balance it. That's what we do. We have a monetization team in Crazylabs, helps the studio to find the right balance. What about management in esports? Can you briefly say something? I don't know what, I don't understand the connection. We don't have esports games on hyper casual. We do have some management games. I don't know, football manager style hyper casual games. I don't know. How many downloads do you need to monetize the game through ads? It depends of how much money each player make when you watch ads. Some games, let's say, make $3 from each user in average, and some games make $0.50. So it depends. But we are talking about between hundreds of thousands into millions of downloads in order to make it profitable. And we don't launch a game if we don't estimate that it will make at least millions of downloads. Is having an option to remove ads more profitable? We once use it. Is a good question. We once, since we did a test and we know how much money a player will make for us, let's say $3. So you can maybe say, let's put an option to pay $3 and remove the ads, because we will make the same money or more. Sometimes it works, sometimes it's not, because people that play hyper casual usually don't like to put money in the game. And we also have a problem with China. When you put the option to make money in the game in China, you need a different license than when you only have ads. So to make it easier to go to the Chinese market, we will usually just drop it and not do it, or sometimes we will make a different version for Europe and the United States and China to make different kind of pricing models. After creating a game, it can be tagged to a different platforms, hyper casual games. I'm not sure what do you mean. You can do whatever you want. You have the rights. Just a second, sorry. Sorry. The winter started last week, so I'm already a little bit sick. So you can port the game to other platforms. Usually it will not work as good as in hyper casual. It's not the same controls. It's not the same target audience as we spoke before. You can do it. Of course, we put it on iOS and on Google, both, and sometimes also on Amazon and other stores, but in general, usually only mobile. Hyper casual games are the future. It's a very interesting question. Every year, there is a big discussion. Is hyper casual is going to die? Is it a problem to try to achieve a success in this very big market? And every year we see hundreds of top charts games reaching the top 10, making a lot of money. And many studios, many new studios are entering the arena. So if it's the far future, I don't know, but in the next few years, for sure, it's going to be here. The main problems on hyper casual are usually the platforms themselves, like Apple and Google, that change the rules and sometimes make it harder to make a good game or a successful game. But usually we adapt and we succeed anyway. Why mobile games have create more revenue? I'm not sure that mobile games make more revenue per player. Well, I think yes. First, 80% of the, I think 70% of the gaming market is mobile because everybody have mobile phones. Not everybody have consoles, but anyone that have a console have a mobile phone. So all the gamers could also play mobile games, but it's not working the other way. So of course there is more people that could play and pay on mobile, and that means that the option is bigger. And another interesting thing, that people are willing to pay every month or every time they are playing mobile games, while on PC or on consoles they want to buy the game once and they don't like to pay again. So a subscription or in-app or other payment methods on casual games are making more money than similar games on consoles and PC, but it's harder to market them because there's only 10 places on the top charts. It's not easy to get to the top. When did the hyper casual gaming trend started? Well, I think Flappy Bird will be the first hyper casual game in a way, although it's a landscape game and not a portrait game, and many of the things are not there, but it was very replayable game, and I think it started the trend that now we call hyper casual. So let's say 7 years, 6 years, something like this. Does the simplicity of hyper casual games limit its long-term life? Yes. People play hyper casual games for a week, for 2 weeks, and then they move on to the next game. But this is also the reason that we have a lot of players, because if people will be playing hyper casual games like they are playing Candy Crush for 10 years, then we couldn't make money. People will play the same game all the time and will not move to the next game. So they will not click ads. So we will not make money. So the short lifespan of a game is also kind of a good thing in hyper casual. What is the average shelf life of casual gaming? The same, let's say 2-3 weeks. Of course, the games could be living for months, for years. We have a game called Amaze that it's in the top 50 for 3.5 years. Very simple maze game that's very successful for years. Some games only live half a year. It depends. Let's wrap it up. Wow, what an annoying question. Is hyper casual games and gambling games are same? You didn't listen to anything that I just told you. There is no money in hyper casual. You don't need to put money. It doesn't cost you anything. It's free. So it's not gambling. If it's free, you're only gambling on your time and on your entertainment. And it's the same as watching a movie or eating a good dinner in a restaurant. You are putting your time and money and getting entertainment. It's free, but you pay by watching ads. So it's nothing compare or similar to gambling. Also, there is no subgenre of casino in hyper casual. For some reason, it's not working well. No, people don't like to play casino hyper casual games. I think this is the last question. We can wrap it up.
Well, this brings us to the end of this webinar. Thank you so much, Nir and Ajay, for such a wonderful and informative session. Thank you, everyone, for being a lovely audience. If in case anyone has any questions related to the webinar or to the gaming program that HeroWire has, you can write us at hello@HeroWire, and our team will be getting in touch with you. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much, Ajay, and thank you so much, Nir. It was great to have you on board.
My pleasure. I can come again.
Okay, everyone. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.